I handed my dad a glass of water. He hesitated. "What's wrong?" I asked. He forced a smile. Said, "Nothing." But then he sniffed it first. Like I'd poison him. Later, I heard my stepmom whisper, "She's not safe anymore." And that's when I realized someone was making him afraid of me. I didn't react when it happened. I just stood there, holding the empty space where the glass used to be, trying to act like it didn't mean anything. Like I didn't notice. But I noticed everything after that. It wasn't sudden. It didn't feel like one big moment. It felt like something slow, creeping into the house, settling into the corners. The first week, I told myself he was just tired. The second week, I started watching. Mark had always been steady. Not overly affectionate, not distant either. Just consistent. The kind of person you didn't have to question. So when he stopped eating anything I made, it didn't feel random. It felt deliberate. The first time it happened, I brushed it off. "I made pasta," I told him, setting the plate down. He looked at it. Then at me. "I already ate," he said. He hadn't. I'd been home all afternoon. I remember standing there, trying to decide if I should call it out or just let it go. I let it go. Because Denise was standing behind me in the kitchen, watching. She smiled when I turned around. Not a big smile. Just enough to say she noticed too. Things like that started happening more. If I poured him coffee, he'd wait before drinking it. If I brought him something, he'd hesitate. Not long. Just enough for me to see it. That hesitation started to sit in my chest. I asked him about it one night. We were in the living room. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching. "Do you think I'd do something to you?" I asked. He didn't look at me right away. "I don't know what's going on lately," he said. That wasn't an answer. But it told me enough. I started paying attention to Denise after that. Not in an obvious way. Just noticing patterns. She handled everything when it came to him. Meals. Drinks. Medication. If I tried to help, she'd step in. "I've got it," she'd say, already moving past me. It always sounded normal. But it didn't feel normal. One night, I walked into the kitchen later than usual. She was at the counter, her back to me. There was a small bottle in her hand. She was crushing something into a powder. She turned when she heard me. "Too fast." "Oh," she said. "Just vitamins." She smiled like that explained everything. Maybe it did. But she capped the bottle quickly. Put it away faster than she needed to. I didn't say anything. I just nodded and walked out. That night, I started writing things down. At first, it was just to prove something to myself. Dates. Times. What he ate. Who prepared it. When he got sick. Because he was getting worse. Not dramatically. Not enough for anyone to panic. Just enough to wear him down. There were mornings he couldn't get out of bed. Afternoons where he barely touched his food. Headaches. Nausea. Fatigue. And Denise always had an explanation. "He's stressed. He didn't sleep well. It's his age." She said it so calmly, it was hard to argue. But my notes didn't match her explanations. There was a pattern. On days she handled everything alone, he got worse. On the one night I cooked dinner while she was out, he was fine the next morning. He even said it. "Feel better today," he told me, like he was surprised. I didn't respond. I just added it to the list. A few days later, I heard her on the phone. She was in the kitchen again. I was down the hall. "I don't feel safe with her here," she said. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried. "She's been off. Mark's getting worse, and I don't know what she's putting in his food." I stood there, listening. Not moving. Because that was it. That was the line. She wasn't hinting anymore. She was building something. And it was pointing directly at me. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about how easy it would be. All she had to do was say it enough times. Plant the idea. Let it grow. And eventually, it wouldn't matter what I said. He'd believe her. Part of him already did. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I bought a camera. It wasn't anything complicated. Just small enough to hide on a shelf in the kitchen. I told myself I was being paranoid. That I'd check the footage, see nothing, and feel stupid. But I needed to know. The first day, nothing happened. The second day, I almost took it down. Then I checked the footage from my car. I couldn't even wait to go inside. I sat there in the driveway, engine off, phone in my hand. And I watched. Denise walked into the kitchen. Calm. Normal. She set a plate on the counter. Looked around. Then reached into her pocket. The bottle again. She poured something into his drink. Stirred it. Set everything back like nothing happened. No hesitation. No panic. Like she'd done it 100 times. I remember staring at the screen. My hands were shaking so bad I had to brace my phone against the steering wheel. Part of me wanted there to be an explanation. Medication. Something prescribed. But then why hide it? Why lie? Why make me the one he was afraid of? I didn't confront her. Not right away. Because by then, I understood what she was doing. If I walked in and accused her, it would turn into exactly what she wanted. Me, emotional. Unstable. defensive. Her, calm, reasonable. And him, caught in the middle. So I waited. I acted normal. I let her keep going. I watched everything. Then that weekend, Linda and Rob came over. Dinner. Same routine. Same tension under everything. We sat at the table. Mark looked worse than he had all week. Pale. Quiet. Linda noticed. Are you okay? She asked him. Denise sighed. I'm really worried about what's going on in this house, she said. There it was. Her moment. She was about to say it. About me. I felt it. So I didn't wait. Yeah, I said. Me too. Everyone looked at me. I pulled out my phone. I think you should see this first. I didn't explain. I didn't argue. I just played the video. No sound. Just the image. Her. The bottle. The drink. The silence in that room felt heavier than anything I've ever experienced. Mark didn't move at first. Then he leaned forward. Watched it again. And again. Denise tried to talk. It's medication, she said. He needs it. She's twisting. But it didn't matter anymore. Because now there was something real. Mark looked at her. What is that? He asked. Simple. Direct. She didn't have a clean answer. Not one that made sense. The next few weeks were complicated. Doctors confirmed something had been affecting him. Not enough to kill him, but enough to make him sick. We reported it. Nothing stuck the way I thought it would. It became a situation of intent, of proof, of interpretation. But she left. Packed her things and left. Mark apologized. More than once. I should have trusted you, he said. I didn't know how to respond to that. Because trust isn't something you just say back into place. It changes shape once it's broken. He got better. Slowly. Started eating normally again. Sleeping. Moving around. And I watched that happen. Quietly. Because part of me needed to see it to believe it. A few months later, I moved out. Not because I had to. Because I wanted to. Because staying there felt like living inside something that had already cracked. We still talk. It's better. Not the same. But real. Sometimes I think about how close it got. How easy it would have been for her to flip everything. If I hadn't recorded that. I don't know what version of this story I'd be telling. Or if anyone would have believed me at all. And the strangest part? Some people in the family still think I went too far. That I should have talked to her first. That recording her was wrong. I don't argue with them. I just think about that moment. The way he hesitated. The way he looked at me like I might hurt him. And I realized something I didn't understand before. Sometimes, the only way to protect yourself is to let the truth speak louder than you ever could.